At the seashores, a golden chain. That golden chain entwines an oak. A learned cat around that oak, day and night keeps his walk. Goes to write a song he sings. Returning, left a tale he brings. There, fawns in woods wander, there on trees. Nymphs are sitting at their ease. There, on paths where no one's been, are creatures' traces that no one's seen. There stands a hut on chickens' feet, without a window or a door in it. The woods and fields are full of wonder. There, at dawn, waves break and thunder on a sombre sandy shore, and dolesome 30 knights, all young and handsome, emerge from water, full of glee, led by the uncle of the sea. There a prince, while passing by, a king doth capture on the sly. Over fields and over sea, a wizard carries o'er the clouds. A hero, knight in sight of crowds, alone in a tower, a princess stays. Her commands a faithful wolf obeys. Grandmother Yaga, all alone, with mortar, stepping all along. King Kashay pines over gold abundance. There, Russian spirit, Russian fragrance. I was there, made there I drank. Beneath the oak, reposed on the bank. The cat to me his tales hath told, many tales and tales of old. Many of these I still remember. This to the world I will render. Things of days long since past, traditions of a hoary past. Tale of the Dead Princess and the Seven Champions. Once there was a king who started. Journeying from his queen he parted, and she watched a lonely thing at her window for her king. Morn and evening she watched and waited, still the plain she contemplated, till her eyes were sore from white daybreak to the fall of night, and her eyes she never raises, from the plains 9 months she gazes. God, ere Christmas Eve is morn, brings a gift, a girl is born. In the morning early, homing from afar where he was roaming, long awaited with desire, came at last the king and sire. Just a look was his to capture, but she could not bear the rapture. Deeply, heavily she sighed. Near the hour of mass she died. Inconsolably, in seeming, flew a year of barren dreaming. Kings are frail, other men. Wedded was the king again. She for dowry of her own brought a looking-glass alone, one of strange, peculiar fashion, with the gift of conversation. She was never kind or gay when that mirror was away. With it pleasantly she jested, preened herself, and thus addressed it: Mirror, mirror, let me hear nothing but the truth, my dear. Tell me, am I sweetest, fairest? Are my red and white the rarest? And the mirror still replies, Nay, be sure that none denies thou art sweetest, thou art fairest, and the rosiest and rarest. Then the queen in laughter breaks, and her shoulder shrugs and shakes. Nasty, spiteful glass, I see, thou art telling lies to me. Nay, but tell me, how should she, overpast in sweetness me? Tell me, still the glass said, fairer, rosier is the bride, and rarer. So no help the lady next, with the blackest envy vexed, flings the glass beneath the benches, calls upon her chamber wenches. One Chenafka bids her bear into some woody lair, that princes and tightly bind her, where the hungry wolves may find her, underneath a pine alive, and devour her. But Chenafka, love unseen, bore her, neither bound nor slew her, left her free, made answer to her, God be with thee, never grieve. Homeward then she took her leave. But the wicked queen, still fretting, not forgiving or forgetting, on the princess thought and long, chafed in anger at the wrong done her by the glass, and pouted. There she threw her arms about it in the end, and sat her down, facing it, forgot to frown, and once more began to preen her, said with smiling demeanor, Mirror, greetings, let me hear nothing but the truth, my dear. Tell me, am I sweetest, fairest? Are my red and white the rarest? And the mirror it replies, Thou art lovely, none denies, yet in oak woods green and shady, all unnoted lives a lady, housed with 7 champions now, she is sweeter far than thou. Then the queen in wrath flew at her, Thou, Chenafkai, in this matter, dost thou trick me? Do the rest. Point by point the wench confessed, and that evil queen did warn her, that a collar might adorn her. Set with spikes, now die, she said, or the princess due to death. Once the young princess, who waited for her brother, dear belated, at her window spun, and there, suddenly below the star, heard the angry house dog growling. There, within the court was prowling just a nun who begged for food, while with the crutch the dog she chewed. Down the lady called, Good mother, I will scare him, stop the pother. Only wait, and thou wilt see what I am bringing down to thee. But the nun was heard replying, Ah, my dear child, I'm near to dying. Worried by thy hurtful cur, watch him raising all the stir. Come out, and help me, darling. But the dog, who still was snarling, when the princess tried to go with the loaf and stepped below, pushed between her feet, nor let her reach the crone who moved and met her. At the crone he would still weigh, and no woodland beast of prey could have flown at her more madly. Was it strange? He slept so badly, look and catch, as she tossed out the bread. And the crone, when she had caught it, cried her thanks to her, brought it. May God bless thee, now to match, here is something for thee catch. And a piping straight she tosses, juicy, fresh with golden glosses. To the princess, how the hound whimpers, springing from the ground, clap with both her hands she snatches, and the piping deftly catches. First she thought that eat she would not, till the meal, but wait she could not. To her crimson lips the fruit, clasped in either hand she put. Nibble upon nibble followed, and a morsel next she swallowed. Suddenly the snowy hands of her dear one flag she stands, reeling, and her breath is stopping, and the ruddy fruit is dropping, and she rolls her eyes and falls. For 3 days they watched, but she rose not, slumbering peaceably. Then mournful rites they paid her, in a crystal coffin laid her, and that princess in state all the band conveyed to wait on a mountain named Deserted. Behold now a craggy mountain, bold towers before him, and around it lies a barren land to bound it. Swiftly, swiftly doth he go to an entry dark below. There in blackness melancholy swings a crystal coffin slowly. Crystal coffined lies she deep, his princess in endless sleep. Then with all his might he battered at his dear one's coffin, shattered. Suddenly the coffin broke, suddenly the maid awoke, looked with wandering eyes around her, swayed above the chains that bound her, heaved a mighty sigh, and said, "See how long I have laid abed. From the coffin she is creeping. Ah, for joy they both are weeping." Now he lifts the maid away, out of darkness into day, and to our homeward faring, happy, friendly talk are sharing. Quickly round the tidings ring, saved the daughter of the king. Tale of the Fisherman and the Little Fish. An old man, his old woman with him, lived close by the dark blue ocean. In a shaky mud hut they were living for just 33 years exactly. The old man with his net would go fishing, and her yarn the dame would be spinning. Once he cast his net in the ocean, and the net came up with mud only. When he cast out his net the next time, the net came up with seaweed. And he cast his net for the third time, and the net with the fish it came up. Not a common fish, but a golden. Then the golden fish asks for mercy, speaking with the voice of a mortal. Let me go, old man, into the ocean. A costly ransom I will give thee. My ransom is whatever thou wishest. The old man marveled. He was frightened. 33 years he had been fishing, and never had he heard of a fish talking. And the golden fish, he released it, saying to it a word of kindness. Golden fish, now may God be with thee, for I have no need of the ransom. So depart thou into the blue ocean, a roaming by thyself in freedom. Then he went to the dark blue ocean, and saw the ocean a little ruffled. And to the golden fish he shouted, and the fish swam up to him and asked him, What mayst thou be wanting, old fellow? The old man answered her, bowing, Have pity, O my fish, my princess. My old woman has rated me soundly. I am old, she gives me no quiet, for she is wanting a trough, a new one, and ours is all broken and battered. And the golden fish gave him answer, Be gone and grieve not, God be with thee, for ye shall have your trough, a new one. Then he went to the dark blue ocean. The blue ocean was disquieted, and to the golden fish he shouted. And the fish swam up to him, asking, "What mayst thou be wanting, old fellow?" The old man answered her, bowing, "Have pity, O my fish princess. My old woman is fooling worse than ever. I am old, she gives me no quiet. She would not be a peasant any longer. She would be a lady of position." And the golden fish gave him answer, "Be gone and grieve not. God be with thee." Presence. The old woman is fooling more than ever. She sends her courtiers to her husband. They hunt out the old man and brings him. And the dame, she says to her old man, "Back to the fish and bow before her. I would not be ruler and an empress. I would fain of the sea be sovereign, so as to live in the sea, the ocean, so that the golden fish may serve me, and so go as my messenger on errands." And the old man, he does not oppose her, does not utter a word to cross her. He goes to the dark blue ocean. He looks. On the sea is a black tempest. So swollen are the angry billows, so rush they, such a roar are they raising. And to the golden fish he shouted, and the fish swam up to him and asking, "What mayst thou be wanting, old fellow?" The old man answered her, bowing, "Have pity, O my fish. My princess, how deal with her, my damned old woman? She no longer wants to be an empress. She wants of the sea to be sovereign, so as to live in the sea, the ocean, that thou thyself mayst be her servant, and be her messenger on errands." But the fish, not a word she uttered. She just splashed with her tail in the water, and went off in the depths of ocean. Long by the ocean he awaited an answer, in vain, and went back to his old woman. See, the old mud hut is before him. His old woman sits on the threshold, and before her is a trough in flinders.